So, this is Diane Wood. This is the meeting of the Public Art Committee meeting on January 8th, 2025. And it is 2 o'clock, but our chair is probably looking for a parking place here at City Hall as we speak. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 5 to 10 minutes before I call the meeting that we'd have to cancel because we don't have a quorum. So in the meantime, I just wanted to review that the January meeting is always traditionally when we do elections for our chair and our vice chair.
Okay.
So be thinking about that. One of the things, about the chair and the vice chair is that, it's run by Robert's Rules of Order, so you'd have to get familiar with that and run the meeting that way. That's in our ordinance. And then the chair would take over if for some reason the chairman was not present at a meeting. So I understand that at the November meeting, you all voted to do quarterly meetings.
Yes.
So that would make April, July, and October for your meetings. So I also wanted to give you all an update while we're waiting to see if Viva arrives, is that the Dorset Park mural, Juliana Day had contacted me and said that she thought that there was some issues with it, maybe lifting a little bit, kind of thing. And there was like a little bit of a scratch. So I went and took pictures of it, sent it to Speed Pro. He's going to come out and look at it. But I also talked to our Public Works department, and they're going to also, Speed Pro's also going to give me a quote, but to see if there's something that we could put over it and like a frame kind of thing with a protective.
Maybe
You know, so-
plexiglass?
I don't know. I mean, so I'm basically leaving it up to them. I'm putting it out to the Public Works guys and also to Speed Pro to give their ideas and their assessment of it. So as soon as I have that, I'll let you all know. But I just think it's going to be an ongoing, issue because the park is used so much, and it's like, even though it's adhered, heat sensitive, it's like, if anybody were to scrape it, with a backpack or a bike or a scooter or something like that, it's going to get damaged again, and we don't want to go ahead and replace it over and over. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking we've got to come up with a solution. It's a great location. It's beautiful, but I just think there's got to be some kind of way that we can protect it better. So
Yeah.
as soon as I, get that information, I will let you know.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to give you an update on the illuminated art boxes. It was reported, oh gosh, I think back in October or September that they were not illuminating at night. And so, they were solar, they were designed, with a solar panel and everything, and it has been replaced in the past. And it's also kind of like a connection, there's like some sort of motor or something that runs it all. But anyway, long story short, I also asked Public Works if they could come up with a better solution so that we don't have to keep, replacing. And they now have hardwired it to the light fixtures that, they're mounted on. And they've also installed illuminated LED lights, that'll make it brighter. And so I think the cost to us will be about $700, which is very reasonable for,
Sure.
all those art boxes. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I just wanted to give you that update on those things. The other issue that is not resolved yet is that it has been reported that down at the Sponge Docks, in the circle, the Naiad statue, the fountain is not working. And so I have put in several requests to the vendor who installed it, and he has not responded, so, and which is not unusual. But, so I'm gonna continue, I just keep calling them until I get an answer, kind of thing. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna see if our Public Works, can maybe do something, to it.
Well, if they could at least take a look at it and see if they can see what's wrong with it,
They
that would
actually
give us
have
a little-
identified what it is.
Oh, okay.
It's some sort of like a pump valve,
Oh.
kind of thing. So
Okay.
because the vendor had installed it,
Sure.
they have to go to them first,
Sure.
kind of thing to make good on it because there's like a warranty, on them.
Yeah.
So anyway, working on all three of those things for you. And when I get any kind of information, I'll go ahead and report, back.
On the mural for Dorset Park, I know you're talking about framing, but maybe another idea would be to laminate it and then put some kind of small frame around it. Can you laminate? It's just a question. Can
don't
you
know.
laminate it? Because that's closer to the wall. If they
Yeah.
can put some kind of hard covering over it.
Yeah, that's the idea, is to find some sort of a materials. I'm not sure because, the problem with that wall too is that it gets the west sun, and you know how our summers are. So whatever we put over it, I don't want it to get cloudy, if moisture.
Right, or
so
yellowed
There's
or-
a lot of things that could, affect it. So
Yeah.
that's why I want to get multiple opinions on, what might be a good solution. So, yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's
and
just,
Public Works guys, they've dealt with all the materials, so they
Yeah.
probably have a wealth of knowledge about how things will weather.
so I thought, that might help us to,
We have a guess, but it's
you
not
know,
her.
that might help us to save some money if Public Works does come up with a solution. Hey, Juliana. So anyway, that's where we're at. I will,
We haven't
Megan.
started yet.
Megan, excuse me, can you call Biba?
Yeah.
Just to see if
Thanks.
she's coming. Excuse me. We don't have a quorum right now, Juliana, so we're just giving.
All up from the other side of the building.
I know.
Oh,
well, that's-
brr.
Yeah.
No talking.
I know, yeah. Well, the civic clerk's building will be done soon, and once that happens, and then they get the other road paved, I'm sure that'll help quite a bit, but for the meantime,
Yeah, it's tight.
I know, we have a challenge too.
Yeah, I have a handicap sticker, but
I know.
I kind of lost it under my seat. I couldn't find it, so I was scared to take that spot.
Oh,
'Cause I don't want
yeah.
a $250 ticket. I have to go through
Oh,
all those
yeah.
emotions
Hi,
to
Biba, it's Megan.
get it removed.
Are you coming to the public art meeting? Can she be here in 10 minutes? I think we're gonna probably stop the meeting and then reschedule for the next one.
April 9th.
Yeah.
I know, because that's my birthday.
She's not even in transit?
Okay, we will follow up with you. Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, so our chair is not available, so we don't have a quorum, so we're gonna have to suspend the meeting. I apologize for you all coming out with, today.
These things happen.
Yeah. so-
Okay.
What happens with the things that was spoken in the commissioners meeting last night?
Well-
Where do we stand with stuff like that?
I think probably what we'll try to do is, let me get with our city manager, Charles Rudd, and see, I'm assuming that what we might do is probably set up a meeting at maybe the Heritage Museum or something. In the meantime, you all can be kind of looking around for sites. And Dawn, you might want to go ahead and watch the meeting, but basically, they're moving they voted last night to move the Sponge Docks sculpture to what we had originally found as the spot, which is, between the two trees right there off of Dodecanese. It's real close. It's right in front of the visitor center, but it's kind of like closer to the street.
Okay.
And then the one at the on MLK is going to be moved to a location to be determined. It was, suggested somewhere in Craig Park, which I think would be a great place. We have so many people that are in that park all the time. We can attest to it because we see a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think that would be an awesome place for it, but it'll be up to you all. But I think what they're wanted to do too is get the community's input on locations too. So, since this happened last night, I haven't had a chance to talk to our city manager, about what his thought is and how he wants to go ahead and do that. But as soon as I get some information, I will go ahead and pass that out to all of you.
Okay.
May I mention something on that?
Sure.
Because the city manager had met with, we had a community meeting, and not dealing with the art council, he did meet with the community. And at the last art council meeting, it should be on our notes here somewhere, that I had asked about that, and I had asked, if we had that, if we actually, did that, work on that, that I would like to head that panel. And that's basically what they're saying about getting the community together, but the art council, we would do what y'all normally do, set a panel. Then, and I asked you at the last meeting,
Yeah.
the meeting before last, because you weren't here at the last one, the emails that those 5 people sent from the community asking to be on this panel, did it get to Beba? It had not gotten to Beba, so if I want to ask if you can send those emails to Beba,
Well,
so
it's,
she's
but it's
aware.
not a new project, it's
No,
just
it's not.
moving it's
Exactly.
just moving
And
it. So
those-
you
right.
wouldn't do a special panel, a special committee for this particular, thing. It's just voting, to move it to a certain location. It's not a new project, so, yeah.
But the commissioners wanted the public, the community to be involved, because that's why we're here.
Right.
That's why we got into this position, because the community didn't feel like they got involved in it like they should. So this time around, he asked for the art council to meet with the community before we make that decision on where to put it. We need to meet with the community. So as a board, we need to meet with the community, or one of us need to be assigned
Well-
to head that.
Yeah, well, there he is. We'll ask him. Hi. This is Charles Rudd, our new city manager.
Hi.
Met everyone.
And unfortunately, Charles, our chair is not here, so we had to call the meeting. So we had to cancel it because we don't have a quorum.
Oh, okay, you need
We need three,
3.
at least 3, yeah. So I kind of gave the members here a little bit update on some of the repair and maintenance things that we have going on with some of the art projects. And then Katie had a question, but I said that I needed to meet with you based on the Board of Commissioners' decision last night to move, the sculptures, so.
Yeah, what we'd like to do is have Public Art host a community input session. So, and that could be over at the Union Academy Center would be fine. And just let people come and say, and challenge would be look for a consensus and figure out because ideas were to go in the Heritage Center, go outside in the park. And so that way you could kind of see what the majority of folks, hopefully there'll be a consensus on a location. And then
Maybe we could do a survey, for the people
Yeah, could we
that
do
come.
something on Turpin Connects or?
I would recommend something that you could track that was, they check a box or something. So you got a record. So somebody says,
Right.
I don't think that was the feeling of the room. We could say, well, actually, we collected 30 forms and most of them wanted it here.
I mean, it just seems like getting everybody all in one place might be a little more difficult, and to get the most input from the widest section of Turpin Springs community might be best to do it on Connect Turpin, and then, have people provide their input and they can comment and all that kind of stuff. And then we would have not only a record of everybody's participation, but it's kind of us getting the information, and then we as a committee are acting on that information, as opposed to, risking having some sort of confrontational situation going on, depending on who shows up. I don't know who might be there.
I don't think it'd be a confrontational situation, because it's a group that it's the Union Academy Neighborhood Revitalization Group has met with the community. As I was saying, city manager Rudd was at one of them. There was about 20 people showed up. So in that same meeting where those 20 people were there, a lot of them voiced their opinion about relocating that art exhibit, especially off of MLK. So we'd spoken with them at that meeting and said, we'll have to bring it back to the commissioners, they'll bring it back to the art council. And 5 people, citizens on that revitalization group, had already volunteered to work on a little group session, panel, whatever you want to call it, to narrow it down, because we went through all that with the community They want to move it. We're just trying to get an idea now from them, where do they want to locate it? A lot of them are not going to get on the Tarpon Connect, and a lot of people that in that community is the ones that's actually asking for it to be moved. A lot of people
Well-
that drive by it are even saying it's not a good place. So I'm trying to just get to the point where the people that has already volunteered to meet with the Art Council to give them an idea of what the community they have spoken to the community to say, an idea of where they want to relocate it to, so we won't be redundant. We don't have to go back over things. We can just, the people that has volunteered, because it's only citizens that has, 5 of them has sent an email 2 or 3 months ago saying they want to work with this group, work with the Art Council. Nobody has gotten back in touch with them. The meetings was canceled, it was put off, and now we're gonna have to wait till April. But I don't want to lose those people interest for us to go back in circles again.
I think we could convene them.
Well, I think we could have, I don't think it's, we could go ahead and create a meeting, sometime in the beginning of February or something, like I said, at the CAP Center or wherever you feel like we get the most participation from, your,
Union Academy
from your
neighborhood.
community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, let's do that. And then we could also, try to get it out. And I would ask your help and those 5 people you're speaking about to help get it out to the community, because I know you all have lots of connections. So, and get as many people there as we can. And then what we can do is create a survey, of, some different sites, and with, Charles' input as well of, potential sites. And then we can have a discussion with the city manager and, the community, and then see what they vote on. They might even have some write-ins on some other ideas too. So, I mean,
Okay.
can we do that in
So we're just
February?
looking to focus on a particular community, not the community of Tarpon Springs, is that right?
No, everybody would be invited. I mean, you can send it to everybody.
We'll get it
but-
out to
Yeah,
everybody.
you can put it on Tarpon Connect, but most likely the people at Union Academy neighborhood is one that's gonna come to Union Academy.
Right, because we want to have it in their community is basically it.
Okay.
But we could do that late January, early February.
I would say probably because of everything we've got going on, I think maybe early February would be okay, because then maybe we could get their results to one of the BOC meetings in February. Do you think that's a possibility?
It's a possibility. It may also help to arrange to meet with Tom Function to walk, so we can help identify potential sites. So we don't end up with 50 potential locations. We kind of say, it makes sense in these areas because there's no infrastructure in the way, or there's, whatever reason there might be. And then we could have it'd help with that selection. Like, do you want it in the Heritage Center? Do you want it out front at Site A, on the side at Site B, by the courts at Site C? It'll help us focus the energy a little bit to
Right.
make a selection, rather than we've got 20 different sites here and they all got about the same amount of votes. That's
I think it's only 2 that they were really talking about as a group, and that was just like you said, one either in the actual grounds outside or in the building.
yeah. That's what we need to figure out on the grounds.
The problem is I don't know if you can actually cut it up. We got to check with the
Well,
city.
outside it'll be whole. It
Yeah.
would stay whole. The attorneys are checking to see. My understanding is we own it outright. We could,
Do whatever.
it's our, like, we don't have to ask Ford to adjust our trucks that are built by Ford. So, but we're gonna make sure the attorney rules on that. But I'd recommend you have that meeting, get that input, and then
Katie, could you go ahead and talk to David Archie and see when we might have, some time, like in early February, to set a meeting? What would be a good date and time? Probably, I want to say in the evening, because so people that work obviously can come, or what do you
6
think?
o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, something
I
early,
think that
yeah,
would be
5:30, 6, whatever you think.
And at the last meeting that the artist, Mr. Oliver, was here, he turned the rights back over to the city.
he
So
did. He
the-
signed
And
it.
it should
Yeah.
show that, that he don't have any rights over that anymore. He gave it back to the city.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. But I will check with David.
Thank you. Yeah, so just let me know, you know, what works for you all, and then I'll work on just getting that all set up, and we'll work together to, get some sort of a release out and things like that, you know. Could even, yeah,
I mean, we can walk it with Tom.
whenever it's convenient for you.
We don't make sure we put it where we're not allowed to dig or something, you know, there's something underground that will,
Yeah, because they probably have to lay a slab for it, you know,
Yeah,
to
we'll have to
anchor it. Yeah,
figure out how we're gonna do it. 'Cause-
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I apologize that you all came out, you know, and we had to cancel the meeting. Thank you for being here. And
Get us some parking.
Right?
we're working on it.
Go-karts take me back to my car. Okay?
That's right.
I can take you back.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
I need a go-kart.
I'm parked right out front, so if you want me to drive you around there, I will.
Yeah.
I know it's freezing.
I know. Well, hey, Julianne, I would take her up on it.
Yeah, it's cold.
Late out there trying to have a cigarette. She tell me, I can't even have a cigarette, too cold out here.
Right.
And they locked that side door over there, so you have to walk around the whole building.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Oh, then he gotta come and get you
On
anyway.
the side.
Oh, and Julianne, I wanted to update you on the Dorset Park. You know, I talked to the committee about it, but when we go out, I'll bring you up to date on what we're doing there. All right, well, I will email you with updates on what we talked about, and then,
Okay.
Katie, if you could let me know what works for the CAP Center, you know, as far as, give me like 1 or 2 dates if possible, you know, kind of thing, just so we
Okay.
make sure we don't have any conflicts. That'd be